Right, Mbali Zetani, thank you tonight. Well, joining me now to take a look at the role of the ANC Youth League's National Youth Task Team is the spokesperson, Sizopila Mkhize. It's good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you very much, Thabo, and greetings.
For someone who has not seen the Youth League in action, at least in the last 9 years, right, they're asking the question, well, I mean, they've not been in the game, life went on, and why are they coming back? What exactly are they going to do?
Look, in the entire country, there is a serious vacuum of the voice of young people. And that is evident on how things are going on in the country. You have a crisis in the higher education sector. You have a crisis of unemployment. You have a crisis of even unemployable graduates. There are so many crises, there are so many problems that young people are facing, and they do not have a voice. The people who are in parliament are quite old people who really do not understand the deep interest of young people and what is it that young people want. So it is very important and crucial that there is a voice that represents young people. It has been proven over time that that voice has been the ANC Youth League. Now, it has had its own problems for quite some time, so there's been a vacuum. We need that voice back, so that is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the others would argue that that space has already been filled by the third opposition party in this country. The Economic Freedom Fighters are very active and vocal on the issues of the youth. What do you say to that?
Look, I would not want to speak much on the EFF because the EFF itself is busy with its own things. They're doing what they're doing. I'm speaking about the ANC Youth League, and I would not want to be dragged to be speaking about the EFF. I'm speaking about the ANC Youth League. I'm speaking about the resolutions of the ANC Youth League and what the ANC Youth League seeks to do and what the ANC Youth League seeks to do for young people, but also what it seeks to do to rebuild the organization, to bring back the organization back to its former glory. Our focus is ourselves. We don't want to be focusing on other people. Our focus is ourselves because we understand why do we exist. We understand why we were established, and we understand how is our existence going to assist the Youth League and the ANC moving forward.
What is your chance of survival in your mother body, which, I mean, if you have a look at the leaking of the NEC meeting and what was being said by the two oldest members in the NEC there, it will tell you that if your elders are that divided, the party is in shambles in this particular point. And previously, the ANC Youth League has been, I suppose, the playground for those factions.
Look, there's agreement that not all is well in the ANC. The level of pettiness amongst members of the NEC, of the ANC, you see the things they write on Twitter, you see how recently they were howling at each other in the NEC meeting of the ANC. Now, you'll expect that maybe to come from COSAS, but not from old people who we believe that they understand the organization. That is why we have said the ANC Youth League, we are there in the ANC Youth League from 14 years to 35, right? You're eventually going to inherit the ANC, and we refuse to be the generation that is going to inherit the ANC that is dead, the ANC that is in opposition benches. We have said and agreed with the president, by the way, that all all NEC members of the ANC, including the top 6, all of them must go to a political school. Yeah. Because they are not assisting the ANC. It seems as if they're just there for the fun of it. And those two comrades must be sent to a naughty corner because they are behaving as crutch kids. So we can't be having that kind. We can't be having the level of debates itself. It's very disturbing. And the infights, comrades, I do not want to believe that. And during the times of your Oliver Tambo, your Anton Lembede, there were no disagreements. But they were always able to respectfully engage in each other. What we're seeing today is the hatred is too much. Comrades hate each other very much. So we said we're going to be not a playground of the factions. And we're not going to allow anyone who is leading the ANC to use this particular task team. Yeah. But what we are not going to do again is to take a back seat and see see the ANC falling. We are going to make sure that we try and work towards the unity of the organization, because the stronger ANC makes things easy for us, because then we'll be able to achieve what we want to achieve as young people. I mean, there are serious issues here. We're speaking about economic freedom in our lifetime. We're speaking about free education in our lifetime. There's so many issues that, and by the way, there are very good policies of the ANC that have not been implemented. because people are not focusing on what they should be focusing on, but they are focusing on proving each other's points. I dealt with you in this meeting, I'm going to deal with you in the next meeting. The focus has shifted. So we're here to...
Do you honestly believe Tony Ngeni and Enoch Godongwan, seasoned leaders of the ANC, you, Sizopila and Nongaba, are going to look at them and say, go to political school? Think they'll take you seriously?
Whether they take us serious or not is one thing. Look, the greatest impact is not on what you say, but on what you do. So we are going to be very hostile to people who are not going to listen to us. We're going to be very hostile to people who want to kill the ANC. We're very jealous, and we're going to guide it very jealously. Whether we once agreed on some of the issues or we're agreeing on some of the issues, but we can't agree with anyone who seeks to be destroying what is left of the ANC. I'm saying we're dealing with so many elephants in the room. It was okay when we're just dealing with differences and we understand each other, but we also understand that at the center of, at the core for existence is the issues of our people. We've neglected our... We can't be neglecting our people, and we're focusing on the squabbles. And by the way, most of those squabbles are about money or about power, who wants to prove that they have power. And our people in shambles are watching on TV, are listening on radio. They are not part of those squabbles, and they remain poor, they remain unemployed. The student debt is not solved. There's so many issues that we should be focusing on, and not what is happening right now in the ANC.
The student debt issue, I mean, you keep bringing that up. We saw the ANC marching against the ANC. Just didn't make sense to anyone. The ANC marching against the policy of the ANC on the paying of student debt. I'm actually happy that you're raising this, because I was part of that march. That was a march of the Progressive Youth Alliance. And what was said on Twitter is not what transpired. What was said on Twitter, that the Secretary General was marching with the students, is not what transpired. We were marching with students of VETS, with students of UJ. We were marching. So the Secretary General overtook your march then?
No, he did not. He did not. He was working with students when they were explaining, wanting to emphasize what was on their memorandum that they submitted to the Secretary General. So it was not marching. Immediately when they were done emphasizing, he walked back to his office, and we continued with the march. But I'm just saying.
What lesson do you learn just from that? Because he clearly overtook your program, because
he did not.
It became about him and what he said.
No, he did not. I think another thing is that we are always looking for something wrong when there isn't. We ignored the fact that on that particular day, actually, we ignored the fact that what were the issues of students, and we wanted to focus on the is. I also believe that the manner in which our media tries to run the narrative always towards the negative side of the ANC is a bit wrong. I mean, focus on the issue at hand here. The issue is students saying we are refused to register. We can't register. We're financially excluded. We're academically excluded. That is the focus. That is where we should be focusing on, and not focusing on who received the memorandum and all that. I believe that there's so much interest in always trying to find something negative and moving from the real issues. I mean, real issues here are police brutality. Part of them, it's police brutality. Yeah. What is the government doing about it? Right. I mean, people were brutalized even during lockdown. It's not only students. South Africans are brutalized by the law enforcement of South Africa. Yeah. And we're not saying anything about that. We can only say things about it, but we are not practically doing anything about it.
So many elephants in the room. Wish we had time to unpack all of them. But Sizopila, appreciate you coming through tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Sizopila Mkhize speaking on behalf of the ANC Youth League National Youth Task Team. We continue next. We'll get more details on developments around the funeral of Prince Philip. Stay with us.